Graduate. This is triple play. And this is going to be, I don't know what, I hope a Jenny. Isn't he cute? He looks just... Yeah, I just about 3 weeks old. And he is a mess. Sorry.
Any milk out of this one yet?
Yeah, but I hadn't checked her today yet.
She got the milk vein going here.
She's getting, yeah, it's going to be in the next
See that vein right there? Right there?
Mm-hmm.
That's
okay,
a
I'm
milk
just
vein.
ready to unload them. No, she won't.
See that gravitational pull there, baby?
So you're telling me, look where they ate this tree. I'm going to have to do something. Yeah. Fruit tree, every time this is two for the price of one. Oh, so scary.
No water in here at all.
Water out here.
Alright, Isidore, Stephanie, Arthur.
Who's out there? Isidore.
Bentley here.
Yeah, see, he's a good thing.
Here, bite my feet.
No!
I slapped him. What?
I would say you get vitamin C, but I don't know where it is. It's in one of those boxes. I think you like these donkeys too much. Huh. I know. People have such a bad idea about donkeys.
Why do you want donkeys?
Freya. Yeah, they will probably shoot absolutely all right. Andy, I know she's your mama. She's fine. You got Andy. Yeah, it is. The little girl that comes with her daddy out here to work. Absolutely loves Andy.
Oh yeah.
He stands there and he will let her do whatever she wants to do.
Boy.
Hello, Juan. No rain? See these two? They're gonna start. Well, they will. Should have gotten that orange one. That would have been cute with the baby.
Oh yeah. I know. When I was standing there, I was like, oh, dog done. The horses down at his ranch are the same way. As soon as I turn my back, they do something. It's like
I can't get. I'm not good at taking pictures by internet. I take the funkiest pictures, but I can't help it. You know, if you're up too tall, they look like they're all legs. And if you're down too small, down too low. Sorry. Then you don't need like that's really nice. Just side, side.
Allie, need me to do that?
No? I'm okay.
I can do that.
not only did I do it, but that going with me.
Here, take this one. Here, man. Yeah, yeah.
Not bad.
Is this your way?
Nah. You want some help with that?
I want to put it back over here because I don't want them walking on it.
Right. Oh, across the front?
It goes the other way around because those go through that hole. This goes here if I lift this up.
Now we got a problem.
Come here, little guy. You gonna run with me? You want to eat first, okay? Come on.
And he would literally.
I in your pasture?
Baby girl. She's probably going to be pretty frisky because she's winning.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So this is my friend Fancy. She's a 3-year-old filly, buckskin, and I've been working with her on and off for about a year. When I first started with her, I tried to get her used to having a feet trim, and she was kind of abandoned out in the pasture, and Dennis and Larry picked her up and just kind of kept her and just liked her and everything else. And so anyway, she's theirs, and she's a real sweetheart. And but she didn't have no manners, no nothing when I first started working with her about a year ago. So the first thing I had to start doing with her was getting her feet going and working her through with that. And then they liked what I did so much with her, they wanted me to go ahead and start training her. So I started playing the games with her, and if you watched any of my other videos, you've seen the games that I play and stuff like that. So what I'm going to show you today is basically we're getting the bareback pad on her. I've been working with her on that for the last few weeks, and about a month or two, maybe 3 months ago, I had started doing it, but then you know, I had some separation of time, didn't do much with her on that, but we're getting back to it full force now. So I'm going to go ahead and show you what I do to introduce the horse to the bareback pad, how to get it up on her, and then move her around with it. Then when I get done with that, she's never really had a bath. Last week I gave her a good rinsing off because she had a good sweat buildup, which was good. And so I had to get her a little acclimated to the water with the water coming out of the hose. And she really didn't do too bad on that. So I'm going to probably do this week with her with a spray, with fly spray, and then I'm also going to show you what I do to warm a horse too. Okay? Alright, so let's get started. So I'm going to go on over and get the bareback pad. And just like any of the horses that I train, my space, your space. And she knows all about that. She's already, pretty curious about it. She, licks it and moves it around with her nose and paws at it and chews on it and all that good stuff. And that's good. There's nothing wrong with that. I want her to do that. Basically, when a horse will touch something with their nose, they feel comfortable about having it around them or being on them. So you can see she's looking at it. I've had it on her before, so it's got her scent, so it's nothing strange. And even if I didn't have it on her before, she would have other horse scents on there. So regardless, there's somebody on there that is of her species. And see, she's playing with it. It's not really even bothering her. So now, I'm going to go ahead, pick it up, make sure it's clean. No burrs or anything like that. See, she's checking it out too. She said I missed the spot. Alright. Okay, so now, next thing I do is I'll take it and I'll just rub it along the neck. But like I said, she's already used to this. But this is what I do. I'll just take it and I'll rub it all over them. Get it underneath their belly. Like so. Get around their butt. Like so. Bring it around. Now she moved around for me. And just rub it around. Get it all around her. Underneath her. Over her. Come on back. Around. Now, if she was bothered by this, which in the beginning she would lift her head up and she would back away or move away from it. And then when she would do that, then I would stop what I was doing, get her stopped, and then I'd start at her head again. But since we've already gone through all that, we don't need to worry about it right now. Now, okay, she's acclimated to it. So now I'm going to toss it up on her back. Oh, did that work? Yes. Okay, let me do it again. Oh, fantastic. Okay, it's all about familiarity. Okay, did it 3 times on that side. Can I do it on this side? Let's see. Well, how about that? Not even bothering her. There we go. Beauty. Alright. Very nice. Okay, so now let's get the other pad on her. So all the time that I was doing that, she was either preoccupied with eating grass or chewing on this pad. And that's all good. This one here, I'm just going to place it on top. Now, if this was a saddle, which later on we'll graduate to, 40-pound saddle, I would not necessarily, oh sweetie, I would not just throw it up there, okay? You're on the rope. Back a little bit. Back. Back. Thank you. Okay, so she's got this propensity to step on the rope all the time. Come on, sweetie. There we go. If it was a saddle weighing about 40 pounds or so, I wouldn't just plop it up there and throw it on there. I'd lay it. I'd place it on there. So, whether it's a 5-pound bareback pad or whether it's a 45-pound saddle, I'm going to place it up there and not make it like it's that big a deal. And that's the whole idea of training. It's not to make it such a big deal. It's not a big deal. It really is. All you're doing is you're giving information to your horse that you have learnt through another trainer or learnt through experience. And you're just sharing information. I don't like the idea of making a big deal out of anything. Just stay totally relaxed and comfortable. Okay, now getting ready to tighten the cinch up. I'm going to move her over just a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. Come up here, sweetie. Good. Now, when I first started doing the cinching, I would just take the girth and just put a little pressure on her, just like that, and release it. Pressure, release, just for her to get used to having something underneath there, okay? So, now I'm going to get ready to tighten the cinch up. Now, I'm not going to tighten it as tight as I possibly can. First of all, I'm just going to snug it. Okay, she's reaching around the other side because she feels the pressure on it. I'm going to snug it, snug it, snug it. Good enough. Now, I'm going to take her and move her around a little bit and walk her. Now, the reason why I do this is for a couple of reasons. One, they have a tendency to suck in air whenever you tighten up the girth. Okay, so this is part one of Fancy. And I'll get back with you in the second part. Okay? Okay. Alright, so here's part 2 of Fancy. Alright, so as I explained, I was walking her around so that we could go ahead and get her a little bit adjusted, having the tightness around her girth and also the pressure from up here, but also to let her have a chance to release some air out of her stomach. So here we go. I'm going to tighten it up a second time, and look how much girth I got right there. Okay, now she didn't like that too much, so she's moving. That's okay, I'm going to let her move. Now she's going to probably stop in a second, and then she's going to maybe just go ahead and start to eat grass again. So I'm going to make my approach, and I'm going to finish up my tightening right here. Okay, very good. Now I'm going to rub her, let her know she did a good job. Very good job. Now, she moved away, okay? Not a problem. I want her to let me know what bothers her and what doesn't bother her. So that bothered her a little bit. I did kind of snug it up there a little bit quick. But she accepted it. So I'm going to walk her around again. Tighten it up for a third time. Now that time she didn't seem to mind it too much, okay? And you could see how much I had. Hopefully, no, couldn't see it. I messed up, sorry. Alright, I wasn't paying attention. But anyway, I still pulled probably about that much leather to tighten it up. So I messed up on there, excuse me. Alright, now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pick up the foot and I'm going to stretch the skin a little bit because it tightens up, it all bunches up kind of like this, okay? So now I'm going to pick that foot up, bring it forward and smooth it out so that girth is on flat skin, not bunched up skin. So I'm going to come down here, touch your shoulder, get behind the knee, ask you to pick it up. Pick it up, sweetie. Bend it, and now I'm going to pull forward, and you can see hopefully that the skin came forward here. So now that girth is on a smooth surface, just like that shoulder right here, nice and smooth. Okay, I'm going to turn it around the other way, show you again. Boy, kind of hone in on that area. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing, and you should see this skin move from here to here. So I'm going to touch your shoulder, get behind the knee, ask you to pick it up. Pick up, sweetie. Okay, she's got it up. Now I'm going to pull forward, and then you see that skin kind of come forward. With that, now you don't have to worry about girth marks, you know, rubbing, soreness, or anything like that. So a lot of times that's one step that is missed. Alright, so she's done great. Just that second cinch she kind of moved away from, but then the third cinch, no problem. Alright, so now I'm going to go get the carrot stick. Alright. She's a pretty little thing. I like her a lot. Okay, so now I'm going to get her to move around a little bit, and just so that she can get the feel of that bareback pad moving around her. Okay, let me move out a little bit further. Now I actually like a round pin better than I do trying to get them on the line, but I don't have one available, so I have to get her on the line. So here we go. Now see what she's doing? That's actually blocking me. So I'm going to get behind her shoulder. And then let's see if I can get her to move. Nope, see? She's blocking me. I don't want her blocking me. So I'm just going to tap her just a little bit. Not to get on her or to discipline her, but just to get her focused to where I want her to go. There we go. And I don't, you know, I'm not going to ask her to do anything fancy. I just want her to move in the direction that I'm asking her to do. There we go. Walk on. Okay, so now she's doing it again. So I'm going to shake the line a little bit, and I'm just going to tap her on the shoulder, get behind her shoulder, and ask her to move out again. There we go. Now notice, I don't do this at the butt. I do it at the shoulder, because the shoulder is your forward impulsion. I don't like to do the butt because, first of all, I'm not going to be behind her to ask her to move forward when I'm sitting in the saddle. But I will be behind her shoulders. So she knows that if I tap her with the reins when I get up on her on the shoulder, she knows that I want her to go forward. Okay? This is not perfect right here. We still got a lot of work to do on this. She does do a little bit better without the bareback pad. Okay? And so, next segment, I'm going to go ahead and get her in the other direction. Okay? Alright, so now we're going to get her going in the other direction. I'm going to move her out a little bit here. She's a very willing little horse. She's a want-to horse. So I'm going to get behind her shoulder again. Now I'm going to go ahead and ask her to move out. I'm going to point and look in the direction that I want her to go. Okay, you saw a little stutter step there. She was actually kind of thinking about either rearing up or maybe even crow hopping. And that's okay. I don't have a problem with her doing that. And some people might say, well, but wait a minute. Now, if you allow her to do that, then what's going to make her not want to do it up on the saddle? Well, the thing of it is that after a while, when she gets used to this, okay, when she gets used to this, she won't be doing her stutter step and crow hopping and rearing up because she'll be used to it on the ground. So I'm going to let her do that, and I'm not going to reprimand her. I'm not teaching her to do it because I'm not going to reward her for it, but I'm not going to get mad at her for it either. She's telling me she doesn't like that cinch on her. She doesn't like that bareback pad on her. But then I'm telling her, I said, well, sorry, sweetheart, but you're going to have to put up with it. Walk up. Okay. Got a little stubborn streak going on right here. Okay. Get back over here. I think it's a little more difficult to work with the horse when you have a lead line on than you do when you have them in a round pen, because in the lead line, if she's going to go away from me, I have to pull on the halter a little bit to kind of get her back, and that sometimes I think sends a mixed message. Now in the round pen, I don't use the line. I let her have that freedom of movement. She's going to stop when she wants to stop, and then she's going to think about it after a while when she goes, why am I doing this? Okay? But it's a little more difficult out in an open pasture or an open area to do this. Okay, I'm going to try it again. Point, look in the direction. I'm behind her shoulder. Okay? This direction, she does not like. She didn't like the other one that much more, but she did a little bit better. So this way, it's going to be harder. Now, if I had her in the round pen, now see, she's got that rope around her leg. Now, I played those games with her, with having the rope around her leg. No panic right there. No panic. And she's actually licking me. Licking is good as long as she's not licking and chewing me. She's a sweetheart. All right. Okay, I'm going to try it again. I want to get at least a good complete circle on her. All right, sweetie. All right, that didn't work. Let's try it again. Come on. This is where patience comes in. Remember, she's only a 3-year-old. only get to work in 1 hour a week, but I'm going to have one of the people that love her, start working with them to start working with her in between those sessions. Okay, you try it again. Point and look behind the shoulder. Now, see, this is why I say this is tough. I'm working. Now, I could use a longer line. I'm not worried about her kicking me or anything. I don't want to use a longer line because I want to have a good contact on her as soon as I need to make a contact on her. With the longer line, I don't have that. Longer line is basically used for a horse that you trust. That's why we call it Liberty, or Corelli calls it Liberty. Whoops, she stepped on the rope. Whoop. Okay, now what's going on here? There we go again. Now that could have been a bad situation, but here again. These are games that I play with these horses. You saw how she went this way and the rope touched her right here. Now she could have really got scared. Let me show you something. This is why she didn't panic. Whoops. This is a game. She knows this game. She's going to get those front feet moving here in a second. There we go. And she's going to turn around, and then she's going to come back to me. Now, I played that game with her before I did a lot of the other things. So when she wanted to go straight, and she felt this rope touch her body, it didn't bother her. Same thing when the rope was wrapped around her leg, okay? It didn't bother her. Why? Because I play those games with her. It's desensitizing. Too important to not be noticed. Too important. You can't do all these things when your horse is scared to death of a lot of other little things. So that's why we play a lot of these games. So let's try it again. See what happens. I think this time I'll just do it with the rope. Let's see what happens. Okay, please. Stop. Quit. Okay. This way she's really, that's why I like to use the carrot stick, but that's okay. It's not a kick that she's wanting to hurt me. Now I will pop her for that because now she was coming into my space. So I did pop her on the shoulder for that. I don't want her in my space. Now see how she keeps turning around. That's called blocking. She's blocking. Bumper, bump, bump, bump. Okay? She won't allow me to get behind her shoulders, and that's not acceptable. So now I have to kind of get onto her a little bit. Now that I'm behind her shoulder, there we go. Okay, nope. Now she's not happy about doing this today. But, if it was a perfect world, we all wouldn't be here right now. So, we just have to work it through it. There we go. Alright, little crow hop there. We got a wind picking up here. We're probably going to get some rain later on this afternoon. And I'm just trying to get past her shoulders and she won't let me do it. Really doing a little bit. Okay, I'm going to let her bucket out. Okay, let's get out of the cameraman's space there. Walk up. Walk up. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get onto her a little bit. That's not acceptable. Sorry. Now she's not going to eat grass. So now, okay, now we're kind of getting into the discipline part of it. So I'm putting a little pressure on her until she realizes what she needs to do. There we go. Very good. Okay, we'll go back to my carrot stick. But notice, I'm not going to get mad at her or get on to her. If I would have gotten kicked a few moments ago, that would have been my fault. It wouldn't have been her fault. It would have been mine. So, I'm not going to get on to her for showing me what she doesn't like. Not a problem with that. Alright, now let's see if we can get it going again. All right. Continue this on into the next segment. Okay. All right, we're going to try one more time. If I succeed, she'll make a complete circle going counterclockwise. If I don't succeed, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to the other side, get a full complete circle out of her, and then I'm going to call it. And then we're going to move on to something else. You have to kind of know when it's time to quit to try to teach your horse something new. And if you keep on and keep on and keep on, it can just actually make the problem even worse. So I'm going to try one more time. If it doesn't work, then I'm going to get on her offside, get her to move around clockwise, and if she moves around in the circle, then we're done with that, and then we'll move on to the pasting and the spring. So here we go. We're going to try it one more time. All right, sweetie. Okay. Well, we kind of got the circle. We got the one complete circle, but we got the crow hop and the buck with it. So let's go back to the other side and see if we can get her to do it more comfortably. And if we can, then we'll call it. Okay, sweetheart, you're wearing me out. All right, come on, let's go. Okay. Okay. No, let me get behind you. Alright, let me pull it back out. Walk on. Alright. Alright, good. Come. Okay, so she's telling me here I got about 1.5, almost 2 circles out of her. So she's telling me she likes the counterclockwise direction, or the clockwise direction better. And that's okay. Now I know which side to work with and what side I have to work a little more with. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and get ready to show you how to worm and how to spray. So we'll catch you in the next segment. I like to show the imperfections. You know, a lot of times you see everything, how everything works out right. I mean, you got these guys that have been doing this all their life, alright? And it's like, wow, nothing ever goes wrong with them. I want people to see when things do go wrong.
Then how you... Whatever.
Okay. All right, let's see. Okay. Okay. All right. Now I'm going to go ahead and show you how I spray horse spray, fly spray rather, and how I worm. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and show you how to worm. All right. Now set yourself up for success. I already have the wormer out of the box and your little cap off and how you want it set, you know, your measurement and everything else. And just have it set up so that you can go ahead and get it right in there and be done with it. Now, a lot of times people hate worming, but it's their body language that is the problem. And so what you have to do is you have to be relaxed. Don't come creeping up to your horse like this, okay? Relax. It's not that big a deal, all right? And don't, you know, they'll hide it behind their bank. So that's a predator move. That's like showing them, okay, I got something that's going to hurt you. All right? Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually show the horse the wormer. Okay? So, here we go. Show her the wormer. Now, this is the first time she's ever been wormed. Okay? Now, I'm going to let her touch it. And I'm going to just play with it in her mouth. Nothing for her to be afraid of. I'm even going to stick it in her mouth, just like that, just to play with it. Let her chew it a little bit. And bada bing, bada boom, we're done. Okay? Not a big deal. I didn't make a big deal out of it. And I'm letting her chew it. Okay? So, here we go. She's just been wormed. Alright? Now, you want her to keep her head up just a little bit and make sure that she gets as much of it as she possibly can. Sometimes you lose a little bit, but I don't think we lost any of it. Not at all. So, now, that's the worming part of it. Now, if she did get nervous about this being around her mouth, now sometimes when I put it in their mouth for the first time, they're moving around and everything else. Well, I'll just take it out. No big deal, okay? Play with her again. But I didn't hide it from her. I showed it to her. I let her feel it, let her touch it. No big deal. All right? That's it for the wormer. Now, the spray part. All right? Again, I'm not going to hide it. Okay? Let's get it untangled here. All right? I'm going to back her up just a little bit. Okay. Now, I learned something here from Chris Cox, which I thought was pretty good, you know, watching one of his stuff. And I like watching other people on how they do certain things. That's how I learn. That's how you learn. He says basically start with the back, because along the side here, right in here, because it's less of a predator area right in here. Okay? So, now I'm going to show you how I do that. And then I'm going to do her legs. Okay? When you spray, don't be this far away, okay? If you're this far away, you're going to lose a lot, fall into the ground, evaporation, or what. You want to get close. So I'm going to get close. Here we go. See that? No big deal. And you can see, well, maybe not, because we might be a distance away, but you can kind of see where I went. Now I'm going to come back around this way. And this way. Okay, now she's like, oh. After I've just done sprayed her about 10 times, she's already figuring out, oh, what was that? But I let her look and see what I was doing. Didn't make a big deal out of it. So now, I'm going to come back down here. I'm going to do her legs. I'm going to go up her front leg like that. Okay. And now she's wanting to move away, so I'm going to let her. So she stops. Okay, now I'm going to get her shoulder, her chest, I'm sorry, get her neck, and get the inside of that leg there. Okay, now I'm going to bring it back here a little bit. we're not working under the best conditions right now. I mean, we got the wind blowing. We've had some pretty rough storms this weekend. So I think a lot of that is kind of taking its toll on her. But you can see the markings here, I hope. That's where I hit her with the spray. And that tells me that I did the spraying right. Get close. You want that spray to get up there. If you have it too far away, you're going to lose too much of it. So I'm going to start again along her back. Come down along her side. Back in here. Alright, very good. Now I'm going to do her other side. Same thing. I'm going to come along her back. Now, she does have a problem with it having her belly sprayed. So that's okay. Not a big deal. We'll work on that. It's not going to all happen overnight. And the more you do this, the better off it'll get. So you can see here again, I got these little spots right there because I got close to where I wanted her to be, to where I wanted the spray to be. So you can tell that she did get sprayed pretty good. So I just got a couple little areas to work on, and then we'll be done. Remember, freedom of movement. If she's afraid of something, and you try to inhibit her from moving away from it, you're going to cause more problems. Let her move away. Walk with her, talk to her, get her calmed down, get her relaxed. Once she stops, then you can start again. So here we go again. I'm going to do it one more time. I should be able to get it done this time. So all I got to do is just get her neck. Down along here, the inside of her feet, or her legs, under her belly. And bada bing, bada boom, we're done. That's it. Now, did she do a lot of moving around? Of course she did. That's all right. That's to be expected. This is the first time ever being sprayed. Last week I started with the hose, so that's where I got my start. Now, usually with the hose now, you start at their feet and work your way up when they're hot. But with the spray, start along their back like I showed you, and then work their feet, get their chest real good, get along their neck, go across their barrel, underneath their belly, in between their legs, and that should cover everything. Okay? Well, I hope this has been helpful for you, and thank you for watching. Take care. All right, sweetie. Jackaroo! Yeah, buddy boy. Oh boy. We are really getting the rain rot. Shoot. Man. I gotta give him a bath. Really getting on him bad. Get you a bath, buddy boy.
gonna come with me and tell you what, let's go here. Easy step. Easy step.
Oh, they're just looking.
Come on, let's go eat. Come on, Bucko. Come on, buddy.
Heck.
Come on, Joe. Come on, guys. Pick it up. Pick it up. Let's go. Come on, Bucko. Come on in. You can see the high intensity level of their energy there. Come on, Poco! Got a nice open view here. We gotta get some of these limbs cut. Come on, guys. Come on, Poco. Come on, Trot. Let's go. Pick it up. There we go. Come on. Come on.
Yeah. Got a little trot out of them.
Come on, Poco. Trot. Let's go. Come on, buddy. Come on, son. Come on, come on. Come on, son. You guys hungry? Huh? Let's go. Bye. Behave yourself.
Ooh, he's got a big old.
Come on, Joe. I know it, he's had that. Joe. No, Joe, don't be a butt. Don't be a putz. That's not yours. This is yours. This is yours. Come on. Come on. Come on. No, Coco, no, what are you doing? This is when things don't go right. This is where I start throwing feed buckets. Because one thinks he's missing out from the other. No, that's not yours. That's not yours. That's yours. All right, Joe, out. Come on. Get. Come on. Now, since he's in here, Poco will push the gate open after they get done eating. And then he'll just stand there with Joe. Yeah, he's had that damn cut. I haven't been able to. It's healing, but it's just taking a long time because he keeps rubbing on it. It looks nasty, but you should have seen it before. And there's nothing you can really do about it. I gotta get some warmer on this. I'm gonna close him in so I can doctor him up. Missy's wanting to come in, but she's kind of waiting to see what Wendy's going to do. These two have paired off really nice. And Missy's an alpha horse around the geldings. She'll push the geldings around, except for Joe. She likes Joe. But when she's around the mares, she's not as strong an alpha. She's probably third behind Wendy and Annie. But she doesn't mind. She can go either way. She can be the alpha or she can be the follower. It doesn't matter to her. Come on, sweetheart. Come on, Wendy. Oh, beautiful. Look at that girl. Look at that girl. What a beauty. She's trimmed down quite a bit. Been trying to get her weight down a little bit. Okay, let's go. So she'll follow now. Alright, baby girl, let's go eat. Coco, you just behave yourself. Come on, girls.
He's got everything it takes other than that one. Apparently, he's been through several different training people, too. What that means, I don't know, but I hope these trees back here don't get chewed down by the donkeys. That one did already, but ooh, looks like it's gonna get...
See, the way he used to be, this used to be real bulbous, come out like this. And then he had cracks on either side, like that. So he had to keep working that bulbous to keep it down because it got so strong that it split. So that's why you see all this white right here is taking that bulbous out of there. So this has really turned out to be a nice foot. Let me go back on the other foot. Go back on this foot, boy. Okay. Basically, that's what happens when you get too much bulbous. Get it like that, it starts to cause a split. And sometimes you'll even get it on both sides. But fortunately, it's only on this side. But it's got a little bit of dryness in here. So that's probably what's causing this.
I'll let him in the mud, huh?
But in a couple trims, you know, in about another 2 months, that'll be gone. It has to grow out just like the rest. But it's not as bad as what the others were. But you just got to keep working that bulbous on there.
If he got out in the mud, the dryness.
Back feet, I just got to get to playing with him.
You need help.
Get those back feet going. I just haven't been able to play with them.
Yeah. You know what I'm going to have to do? We got our check back from IRS, but I'm scared death they're going to audit us.
Audit?
Yeah, $11,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now see how he comes down? So this is why I want those boots.
Yeah.
See how he comes down on that right front?
Yeah.
Comes down right at an angle.
Sure does.
And he's just not growing that out. I mean, what happens is it flares out at the very bottom. Okay? Here, no, stay right there. I'll bring him back over this way. Let me show you. He flares out. You can't be afraid of that thing. This man.
Oh,
how many times did you see that? Here. Look at. Okay. So what initially happens is he will flare out at the very bottom. Yeah. And that's what I have to take down, because if I don't, then he's going to start having split.
Yeah.
So, but this is what I need to really grow out. Like the bulbous on here, I need the bulbous here. But when I looked at him last week, he was flared out and he was split. This is the thinnest part, the weakest part of the hook right here. It's called the quarter. So
Hey, you need me to go for a sample animal? He says, he's standing there so good when he walks through.
all right, buddy boy, you're done. I just wanted to get you this a little bit more. Find out.
Hope I can get my food in there.
How the heck are you supposed to start this thing?
Oh boy. Cord. Take two.
Alright, now there. I was getting ready to mow that this week too. Yeah, that's a gator right there. Where?
Oh yeah, it is, isn't it?
Yep, there you go. Went down. Kayaking here.
Yeah, he's just a little gator.
Yeah. Well. and usually this is usually a puddle here, but we've got just enough rain where it doesn't stand. It's nice rain. Oh, the grass is growing in good back there. Up pretty good.
Birds over there. They'll sit on that tree.
Ah, yeah.
When they fly away. They always fly.
Watch your face.
Yeah. In your face. Uh-oh. Territorial issue here. Ass cows. Oh yeah, no mountain biking here today. Look out!
Cloud up again.
this one over here. What is it, turkey?
Yeah.
How far up?
Just there outside that tree.
I don't know. Maybe. There, that's another one or something.
Yeah. Pigs coming on the actual ranch part as much lately.
You're ready.
Alright. I want to look a little presentable here. Okay. Good morning. My name is Gene. And you've seen me on a few videos, and you've seen Miss Wendy on a few videos. We had Wendy's Confidence Booster 1, and we've had Wendy's Confidence Booster 2. And basically what I'm going to do today is tell you about Wendy. It's kind of like the Wendy story. And just give you a little history about her and what she's been through and stuff like that. So, anyway, let me go get her, and while I'm explaining things to you, instead of just standing here like a bump on a log, I'm going to go ahead and brush her down and do certain things with her, and I'll explain what I'm doing as I'm doing them. So I'm going to go ahead and go get her right now. Hi, sweetie. Okay, today is August 13th. In 2 more days, I'll have been with Wendy for 3 years. And it wasn't just Wendy, it was a few other horses that were along with her. Now, I'm just going to probably strictly stay with her through the storyline here, basically. And when I first met the people that own her, they wanted me to trim up one of their horses, which I couldn't do because they hadn't been handled in probably about 6 or 7 years, so they kind of went feral. So I went ahead and I told them that, I can't do your horse right now. You won't allow me. I'm having some problems with them. We'll have to try another day. So he takes his horse away, and I'm thinking, well, I'm probably going to lose this client. It would have been nice, but I'll probably lose him. And he comes back a few minutes later and he says, well, I hear you're a trainer. And I said, yes. And he said, well, I've got 5 horses I want you to take a look at. So this is where I began my love affair with Miss Wendy here. There was 4 other horses in there with Wendy, and she was the alpha. She took care of the other horses, even though she really didn't need to, but she did. There's her dad, which is Joe, the gelding. He actually should be the alpha, but at this point in time, she was. The other horses were just kind of easy going, they followed the pack and that was it. But couldn't catch them, couldn't handle them. So I had to figure out a way of getting them in. And so as I caught one at a time, I tried to, it was just kind of strange the way it happened. Every time I'd catch a horse, Wendy would be right there, and she would have those ears back, and she would have those eyes wide, and that neck turns like, I'm watching everything you do. But she never made an attempt to hurt me. It was like she was giving me a warning. And maybe she realized I wasn't there to do any harm. I don't know. I can't tell you what went through her mind at that time, but I know one thing. She was definitely paying attention to what I was doing. It took probably about 2 or 3 hours to get the 5 horses in the stall. And I knew I needed to put them in the stall because if I had them out in the pasture, I'd have to go through this every day. So I went ahead and I got the first 3 in the stall. The last 2 was Joe, her dad, and Wendy. And I was able to get Joe before I could get her. And when I did get Joe, it left a dilemma. Because if I'd have just brought him out and put him in the stall and left her by herself, there's no telling what she could have done. And I didn't want her to go through the fencing or getting hurt or doing anything silly. So one of the people that were helping me came up with the idea of, why don't you lead Joe and have her follow him into the stall, and then you can turn around, and as she's coming in, you can pull Joe out. And I thought, man, I wish I'd have thought of that. Well, it worked. It worked like a charm. So now, I got 5 horses in 5 different stalls, and that's pretty much where they're all going to be until I can individually, handle each one of them. She was my toughest one. So this is why this is called the Wendy story. She was my tough nut to crack. So what I had done was I had put them in stalls in the front so that they could see everything that was going on. They could see all the action going on. People pulling up in their car, coming out of their car, walking by their stalls, horses going by their stalls, out in the pasture, horses out in the round pen, the ring, stuff like that. So there was a lot of action going on. I didn't want them isolated. And I told people that whenever they would walk by their stalls, and this is a Marty, John Lyons thing, and it's blowing kisses. Now, the reason that you blow kisses is that it's a soft and it's a recognizable sound. And it's actually kind of like a safe sound. So I told them that every time they walk by the stall, go ahead and blow kisses at them. Because what happens is that abused horses, and some of these guys were abused, not by the family, of course, but by other people, that they will stay to the back of the stall. They won't come out to the front. So when people would blow kisses when they would walk by, it would get their attention. Now, they weren't necessarily come up to the front of the stall. But it did get their attention. And then they started realizing that, hey, you know, people are just kind of going by and blowing kisses at us, and it kind of softened them up a little bit. They actually kind of expected a sound when somebody would walk by, a blowing of a kiss, and they actually were kind of looking forward to it too. Now, she just took a nice side. She just took a nice side, so that's good. So that little aspect of the training kind of worked out pretty cool. Well, I pretty much was able to get a halter on all the others and lead them out and things like that, except for Miss Wendy. And believe it or not, we really had to do some drastic things with her. Now, what I'm going to tell you is not anything cruel or anything unusual, and it's definitely not mistreating the horse. Well, she's in the stall, and I would try to feed her, stand in the stall with her and feed her, and she wouldn't come near me. But the only way that she was going to eat within a certain amount of time is that she would have to come and stand by me. Well, that took a couple of days of coaxing to finally do that. I mean, I would do it for about 10 or 15 minutes, and then if she didn't come in, then I would go ahead and drop her feed, try it again the next day. So after about 3 or 4 days, I guess, she started to stand near me. Of course, always having one eye cocked, looking at me, watching me, making sure that I wasn't going to do anything silly, like try to catch her or something. Couldn't touch her. Anytime I'd reach to touch her neck or just try to be friendly with her, she'd move away. So I had to do something because these guys need to get their shots and get wormed and all kinds of stuff. So what we did was I went ahead and I had a vet come out, and we were going to go ahead and dope her up. And that in itself was kind of a fiasco. So I will tell you about that in the next segment. Okay? Alright. So right here at my mark. Ready? Okay. Alright, so this is segment 2. And what I want to tell you about is what we had to do to get her shot and be able to get a halter on her. I mean, all the other guys I was able to get a halter on except for her. So we had the vet come out, and he was going to go ahead and give her a shot to you know, knock her out a little bit so I could get the halter on her and start doing some things with her. And that didn't work out. So I had to do something drastic, and that was I had to get a rope around her neck. And that wasn't the easiest thing to do. And it took, I don't know, about 15-20 minutes. So I finally got a rope on her neck, and then I had to tie her to a post so that the vet who would get on the other stall was able to give her a shot that she needed to calm her down. It was I didn't like it. I didn't like doing it, but there was really nothing else that I could do. I had to do this to get her to understand, or to get her to where I could do things for her and start her training process. So we got her tied up. The vet was able to give her a shot, and he says, you better probably do what you got to do pretty quick because she's a really strong horse and she probably won't be in this stupor for too long. So, of course, the first thing I did was to get a halter on her. And I got a rope halter, just like this one here. In fact, it was this one here. And I also had a little piece right here so that she wouldn't have as much pressure on her nose from this rope halter. Because right here, she's got 2 indentations right across here. Stud chain. Okay? I don't like stud chains. I don't use stud chains. If I have to use a stud chain, I'll leave the horse alone. Let somebody else deal with it. I don't like them. especially coming across the bridge of the nose like that. It's almost perfect coming across like this. Plus, she also has like a little wart right here. So this is a pretty sensitive area for her. So I'm very conscious of it, and I want to be as careful, and I want her to be as comfortable as she possibly can. So I got this, and I left it on her 24/7 with a short lead line. Now the lead line did just touch the ground just a little bit, but I told the people that owned her that, you know, this could go backwards. This could be detrimental to her because she could really panic, she could really freak out, and a lot of things could happen. But I also told them that this was a thinking horse. This was a smart horse. And I really wasn't very concerned about her doing something silly because she's very intelligent, highly intelligent. And the reason why I had that lead line was so that it would make it easier for me to reach for something instead of reaching at their head, reaching at the rope. And it worked. Now, once I got that on her, then I was able to start doing things with her. And I actually taught her how to lunge. Now, I still can't touch her at this point. And this is like maybe about a week or so. And I still can't touch her at this point. I mean, just walk up to her and put my hand on her. I can't do that. So I taught her kind of basically how to lunge in the stall. Now, I would take her out and walk her around and stuff like that. She got out of the stall. Don't think that she was stuck in the stall 24/7. She wasn't. Because with the ability now of having the lead line on and the halter on her, I was able to move her around. But I could not just reach over and touch her. So I would move her around in the stall, you know, teaching her how to go to the left, teach her how to go to the right, move around. Now, this little horse could have had me for breakfast, lunch, or dinner anytime she wanted to. She really had a mind to do it. So we started kind of building up a little relationship. She started to enjoy these little games that I was doing with her. And she actually was starting to look forward to it. And she actually really loved our walks. I would take her out for nice long walks and let her eat grass and just sit there and watch her eat grass and talk to her and just, you know, just sweet talk her. And still not able to touch her. Well, this is Florida. And we had some pretty severe hurricane seasons about 3 or 4 years ago. And we had one hurricane that came through that I could not be out here for 2 days straight. Now, I've never been more than 1 day away from them. I've always been here. I either was off on a Saturday or a Sunday rather, or a Wednesday or something like that, but I never was away 2 days in a row. Well, in this particular day or week, I couldn't get out to the stables on a Sunday and a Monday because they closed the Skyway Bridge down. So what I did was, well, it wasn't really anything I did. Basically, what the people did at the barn was they moved all the horses. Come on up, sweetheart. Walk up. Walk up. They moved all the horses to the center of the barn, and they stayed overnight with these guys. And when I finally got out there that following Tuesday, something pretty neat really happened. I went in there, went down the center of the stall once I realized where they were at, and as I went to the door, to the gate, I went towards the gate. She was in the back of the stall, and she came towards the gate to meet me. Never done that before. All the other times, she was standoffish. But this time, she came and met me. And I thought, something good is going to happen. Now remember, it's the first time I've been away for 2 days in a row. Did that have an effect? Maybe. Did the hurricane have an effect? Maybe. Was my being there for her consistently have an effect? Maybe. I can't tell you. All I know is that she had done something that she hadn't done 10 weeks prior to that. So, you know, one of our horses laying down there, and he's just like sacked out. I knew something good was going to happen. This was positive, and it really got me motivated. So I went in there, looking and chilling. I went in there, and I got the ley line, and I said, "Come on, sweetheart, let's get out of here." We walked, took her out, get some grass, and we walked and got some grass and walked. Well, there was one stretch that as we were walking, I noticed she was starting to come up from behind me. Now I used my peripheral, and I could see her coming up from behind. Now normally she wouldn't. She would stay way back. This time she'd come up, and I would see her in my peripheral, and she would get a little bit closer and a little bit closer. So I stopped, and I turned around, and I reached over, and I touched the neck. Walked again, she did the same thing. She came up into my peripheral, I stopped, reached over, touched the neck. She did it a third time. And from then on, from that day on, we made our connection. See you in the next segment. Well, that was good timing. Andy, come on, here. Walk up. Thank you. There you go. Okay. Okay, so that was, in the last segment I was telling you that I was able to touch her 3 times on the net. And that was a very emotional moment for me, because it was probably the biggest breakthrough for this little horse in her life, to allow somebody to enter into her space. Now, she's had people enter her space, but it wasn't because she wanted them to. And so that's why it was a difficult thing to be able to do anything with her. Once I did that, able to touch her, then the real training started. So then I was able to start putting her in the round pen and start moving her around a little bit. She wasn't too crazy about lunging, but she did pretty good. She did very good. It's a very smart horse, very intelligent, and so things started to work out pretty good. The thing is, I still couldn't pick her feet up. There was a lot of things that I just could not do for her at the time. Now, about April, I'd been working with these guys for about 9 months at the time. We moved from where we were originally at down to here, down to the ranch. And this is where I really have had a lot of breakthroughs with a lot of different horses. With Joe, and with Annie, and the Wild Bunch, and Dolly. But still, with this one, she was going to make it tough for me. But that's okay, because I really started to develop a nice bond with her, myself anyway. Even though maybe it might not have been her with me, but me with her. That is coming, and it is in the works still, and it's getting stronger every day. So we are at the point where I've got her out here and got her in the round pen, and we can do some lunging, and I can catch her. She had this thing about, it was a game for her, which was okay. I didn't mind it, because I knew eventually that I was going to get her. And I used it as what we call catch me if you can game. And I would have her in a paddock, and I would have the halter in my hand and the lead line, and I would approach her and she would lead. But she only had a small area, so she couldn't go too far. She'd play this game for about 5 minutes or so, and then she'd stop, and then she'd let me put it on her. Now, she comes up to the gate and she meets me, get the halter on her, and we go about. So for a little while I had left the halter on her, but now I don't have to anymore. Because now I can get it on her, off her, anytime I want to. In the confidence boosters 1 and 2, I had showed you things that I had done with her with the carrot stick and stuff like that. The first one was basically just actually being able, big old mosquito, being able to move around her body confidently. And remember, in the first one, she moved around a lot. But in the second one, she actually did a lot better. And that was without having the lead line on her. So now you can see how much more confident she is in herself. But along with that confidence is trust too. So having to get that respect from her first and getting that trust were the two main ingredients that I needed to get from her, and it took the longest to get it from her than any other horse that I ever dealt with. So I'm really pretty proud of her. We still have a lot of things to do. The nice thing is that she's willing and she's learning, but the bad thing is that I haven't had the time that I really wanted to put into her. So I'm hoping that once we get through this rainy season here and we get into the cooler months, that I'm going to have more time to spend with her and you know, get a lot of things going. My goal is to be up on her back by the end of this year, or at least in the very early months of next year. Now, brushing her down, moving around her, getting the halter on her, on and off, lunging her, that's all good. But now we have to move on. And there was also a point in time that I've only been able to start doing her feet in probably about the last 6 months, all the way around. You know, having trouble picking her feet up and stuff like that. Never mind just, you know, trying to trim them. I just had problems trying to pick her feet up. But now she's moved on. She's doing pretty good. But notice that whenever I make my approach to her, I always touch her on the neck. This way she knows what my intentions are. And if she wants to back away, that's fine. I want her to get herself comfortable and set up for success so I can do what I need to do. That's what I... Yep. Okay, one more foot. So the things that we kind of take for granted that we do every day with our horses, I can't take for granted with her. Because this is something that she still has to deal with. You can see the look on her face. So she's still, you know, like, well, if I have to do this, I don't want her to be a have-to horse. I want her to be a want-to horse. And this is where not being able to work her as much as I would like to this past summer, walk up, has hurt. So, like I said, hopefully when we start getting this weather to being a little more nicer without all this rain, we've been averaging, the last couple of weeks, we've been averaging almost an inch of rain a day out here. So that kind of puts a damper in, and I'm definitely not going to be doing anything, you know, during thunder and lightning. So, you know, that's just too risky to do. But all these things that I'm doing, like on this side here, I couldn't do this side for a long time. I could do the on side, but she wouldn't let me do the offside. So, but now, here I am, doing what I gotta do, right here. Get this tail going. Very nice. And move back over on this side. So this is Wendy's story. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope I didn't, bore you. Not the best of speakers, but I just want people to know about this little horse, how important she is to me, and hopefully I'm just as important to her. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll keep you in tune. Take care. That worked out pretty good, I think. Got her all brushed up. Alright, so that was almost about a half hour. Cool. Alright, baby girl. Let's go get, let's see, I'm going to put them in this first stall. First batch. I'm going to leave these two in here.